Okay, let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Bwtm Sports. Last night we saw a masterclass from Errol Spence Jr. It was to be expected. Spence, stronger. Spence, sharper. Spence, accurate. Spence did what a lot of people expect him to do to stop Peterson, stop him late, and a good performance from Errol Spence. Now, I have to say that Peterson is one of my favorite fighters. But you see, this, when they say stars make fights, fantastic. It was like bull and matador business, where Spence from round, you could tell from round one what Spence was trying to do. Sharp, hard, straight lefts to the head and to the body of Peterson to break him down. Peterson coming forward like the bull, and Spence like the matador, just trying to keep him off in a very positive manner, not hiding behind, just working consistently to break down his man. And you saw that, and he does landed some vicious punches to drop Peterson and put on a sustained beating. You see, Peterson's style suited Spence very well, suited him to the ground. He had a guy that was coming straight forward at him, a guy that didn't show a lot of footwork, just kept coming straight at him at times and trying to fight back. I wouldn't say flat-footed, but a guy much like Brook that, and I wouldn't say Brook is flat-footed, but I wouldn't say Brook's footwork is his greatest attribute. Not like, say, like Thurman, who's more of a mover. If Thurman can't bomb you out in the first couple of rounds, Thurman will get on his bike and he'll move. You'll see him moving around the ring. Now, both guys like Peterson and Brook like to hold their feet, hold the center ring at times, and bang with you. And you saw that when Brook fought Spence. And when you're there and you hold your feet with someone like Spence, it allows him to get inside and chop and work at your body. And so far in his career, it seems to be for Spence, he's been able to get himself into a rhythm, get himself into position, and then just start working and breaking fighters down, which is great. And the guys so far have not been equipped to deal with the strength, the punching power, and the accuracy of Spence. And that's great for Errol Spence. I hear people talking about, I heard somebody say that Spence was talking about moving up to fight Canelo. No. You know what you need to do? Do what Mayweather didn't do, is become undisputed champion. Do what Crawford's done, become undisputed champion. Become undisputed champion. Become undisputed welterweight champion. Thurman's not undisputed. Pacquiao was never undisputed. So become undisputed. Win all the belts. But you see, for me, Spence was expected to win that fight. And I believe, in my opinion, he was expected to beat Brook too. And a lot of people expect him to beat Thurman. Now, I've said way back since the what fight was it? Jesus, it wasn't Jesus Chavez fight. The fight before he got hurt with a body shot. Thurman's been having a lot of problems with his shoulder injuries, and I suspect, much like Dillian White, that he'll never be the puncher that he once was when he first started his career, knocking guys out. Some people say it's because they reach a level. I think it's because if you look at the way Thurman throws his punches, it's very wide and puts everything in them shots. And I think he's ruptured his shoulder. I think he did more damage in his shoulder than he's let on. And I don't think he's able to get the same sort of power that he once had in his career. But I would like to see Spence now fight a guy that can move and that can punch. Instead of a guy, flat-footed guys that stand right in front of him. I'd like to see him now against a guy that can move. Like Thurman can, he can move on the front foot, on the back foot, and to the sides. I'd like to see him fight a guy like Porter, who's going to be busy. The only problem with Porter is when he gets on the inside, he seems to kind of get lost of what he's doing. And his work on the inside isn't that great. He seems to smother a lot of his work. But I'd like to still see Spence fight Porter. I'd like to see Spence fight Of course, I'd love to see him fight Crawford. Danny Garcia, not really. I think he'd get punished. I think Garcia would get punished by Spence because, again, he's another flat-footed guy. I don't believe if you're flat-footed, you beat Spence. I think you've got to be a guy that's moving. You've got to be moving with Spence. You've got to be not allow Spence to set his feet and set up his shots. I think you've got to be on the move with Spence. You've got to be hitting Spence and on the move. You know, and you've got to be able to hurt him as well. Because if you can't hurt Spence, then you're going to keep coming at you all the time. Keep coming at you. Keep coming at you. So that's the impression I get of Spence. You've got to be a guy that can hurt Spence and be on the move. Can Crawford do something like that? Well, Crawford hits with both hands. He can move from orthodox to southpaw. So that's something that will upset Spence. But again, Spence is a naturally bigger man now, and that's a different situation altogether. That's something Crawford will have to deal with. It's not like he can't deal with it, but you know, Spence would have an advantage physically over Crawford. But what I like about Crawford is that he can move from orthodox to southpaw. He can bang with you. He can box. He can move. He can give you lateral movement. And Crawford can give that orthodox southpaw thing. So when he's about to set himself up, he can be hitting with a straight right hand, and he can switch from southpaw to orthodox, which is something that Crawford brings to the table. While we're at it, let's talk about Crawford versus Jeff Horn. How do I see that fight? It's a big guy versus a very skilled guy. And why the hell Jeff Horn is fighting Crawford, I don't know. And he's daring to be great, but he's going to lose that WBO title, and he's going to get beaten to a pulp in the process. He can be big, but he's not big and skilled. There's a difference between being big and skilled, i.e. Spence Jr., rather to being just big like Jeff Horn. He's big, you know, in comparison to Crawford at the weight, but he's not very skilled. He fights with his face, and you can't fight with your face and beat Crawford. No way. He's going to walk onto a whole heap of punches. I don't know if he's going to be Crawford's even be able to get hit. So if Jeff Horn thinks that he's going to do what he did against Pacquiao, he can forget it. And another thing, while I'm at it, we want to talk about Pacquiao. I want to talk about Pacquiao very quickly and talk about the fact that he is being milked dry. It's like they want to pass the torch, so let him fight Lomachenko. Why is Pacquiao fighting Lomachenko? He doesn't do well against counter punches. He doesn't do well against movers. So he's got a guy that counter punches and moves, a complete nightmare for Pacquiao, and it'll be a terrible fight to watch. So I wouldn't want to see that. If anything, I'd like to see Pacquiao fight Jeff Horn in a rematch. Why is that fight taking so long to make? This is sort of passing of the torch is meant to happen. Was Pacquiao going to fight Crawford in a pass on the torch? Well, it looks like Crawford's now going to fight Horn. So I really don't want to see Pacquiao fight. He's one of these guys I don't want to see fight again. But it looks like Aram's going to really take as much money as he can out of Pacquiao. I feel so sorry for Pacquiao. He almost, I hate to use the word slave, but that's what it seems like. He's in a slave contract with Aram. That's what it seems like. A man like Pacquiao should have retired a long time ago. Retired. Done. But keeps coming back. I didn't want to see him in 2018. Plus, we're going to see him again. I think the only time we're going to see the end of Pacquiao is when he's brutally knocked out and carried out of a ring. That's the only time I think Aram's going to say no more Pacquiao. But it's a really sad thing to see that Pacquiao is still boxing and they're trying to get him with Lomachenko. Lomachenko has, you know, not Lomachenko. Pacquiao should just quit boxing. But it seems that they're just trying to do things to get Lomachenko's name out there. So if he beats Pacquiao, it's another name, but I don't want to see it. Let's see what people are talking about in the room. Unsure if Floyd was ever undisputed welterweight. No, I never said he was. That's what I'm saying. That's why it'd be great if Errol Spence could become undisputed. That was my point. Who in the welterweight division has better footwork than Thurman? Maybe Crawford. Brook had IBF when he fought Pac. What? Good joke. Barry Hunter made a final call. Peterson all heart but unskilled, outskilled and outgunned. Crawford, the only one who can beat Spence, in my opinion. Yeah, but you see, the thing is with that fight, Peterson's style works against a certain type of fighter. If you allow Peterson to get on top of you, if you allow Peterson to bully you, if you allow Peterson to outbox you, and you allow Peterson to get into rhythm, Peterson's a dangerous fighter. You saw how Peterson was allowed to get into rhythm against Garcia. From the first bell, Spence put it on Peterson. No, you're not going to get yourself into any rhythm. So he knocked Peterson out of his rhythm and hurt him early. When you do that, it's very hard for a fighter to get back into a fight. And he hurt Peterson early. So we saw more of a Peterson that fought against, what's his name? Lucas Matite, that Peterson, rather than the Peterson that fought against Danny Garcia. He got hurt early. And after that, really, was just the writing was on the wall. Although Thurman timed the straight right well versus Garcia, Spence looks a different level altogether, possibly. But then he's fought guys that have been flat-footed so far, so we'll see, Mikey. I believe movement and a solid right is the best way to beat Spence. Spence potentially won't have a southpaw advantage versus Crawford, yes. Horn will get smashed. Horn will get destroyed, I agree. Thurman has won his last few fights with solid footwork and lateral movement. Yes, that's because Thurman, if he can't get you out in the first couple of rounds, he starts to move around the ring. He did it back from the Bundu fight. I'm not spamming. Let's see here. You're talking about Trap Media at night, but I'm not spamming. Country pride, bro. Relax. Pacquiao is more washed than we thought. How the hell did he lose to Horn? I think that was some home cooking there. And I think, yeah, that's what I think it was. Porter beat Thurman 8-4. He got a gift decision. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, but he didn't. Aram knows Pacquiao is a slave to solidify Lomachenko as the next big star. Pacquiao versus Khan should be made, personally. I think that fight should be made if you're going to make anything. Pac-Man is like eyebrow, just the name value. That's it. Trap Media says to Mikey Beer, I didn't say should have anything. We all know boxing is dirty. Porter was robbed. Not Loma's biggest fan, but he would beat the brakes of Pacquiao. I agree with you, sporting icons. Crawford, not a welterweight yet. Crawford is overrated, says Trap Media. He beat a bunch of C-level fighters at 140. Well, I don't know about that. Being undisputed champion, there's not many undisputed champions that have been around. He beat Postel, who beat Lucas Matisse, who Lucas Matisse was the best thing since sliced bread. Danny Garcia shut that down. He beat Ndogo, who a lot of people rated very highly. So I think Crawford's made fighters look very good. So that's a bit harsh on Crawford. I think Crawford's done very well. Peterson beat Danny and was robbed. I agree with that there. This guy reckons Khan and Brook has better footwork than Thurman. No. Just keep underestimating Crawford. He'll show you again. Brook is a great fighter, arguably the best in the division from a skill standpoint. His eyes just failed him. Forget Brook. Skill, I don't know about that bit, Trap Media. Crawford not a welterweight yet. All right, fair enough. He'll be a welterweight soon. He'll beat the brakes of Jeff Horn. Don't even think about it. He'll smash the living daylights out of Jeff Horn. He destroyed Ndogo, who got eyes by Trovanovsky, who was the next big Russian superstar. So for me, Crawford is the goods and undisputed champion. Not many fighters. I'm sure some of the fighters that you're backing, Trap Media, have never even got close to sniffing being undisputed champion. So Crawford is undisputed. He is undisputed champion at light welterweight. He'll now move up to welterweight and he'll beat the brakes off of Jeff Horn, and we'll move on. So we'll just keep it as it is. I'll keep it going. So we know what's up there. So you can see for yourself what Crawford is. Top quality fighter, and it is what it is. Crawford has beat some good fighters. So, okay, Trap Media, tell us about some of the fighters that you back and you think are good fighters, and we'll see what you know. Hello, my brother. Undisputed means nothing if your division is weak. No, undisputed does mean something. Undisputed means undisputed. The undisputed means undisputed. You could say the same thing about, what are you going to say the same thing about Mike Tyson? Are you going to say the same thing about Mike Tyson? And Mike Tyson's division was weak? Who's the best guy that Mike Tyson beat? That people think he's the baddest man on the planet. Who did he beat to be the baddest man on the planet? And when Mike Tyson was around his prime, here's something for you to think about. When Mike Tyson was his prime and was considered the baddest man on the planet, who was the baddest man that he beat? Who was considered the baddest man on the planet at the time? Was it Trevor Berbick was the baddest man on the planet? Was it Larry Holmes, ancient Larry Holmes, that had 2 weeks' notice to fight? Was he the baddest man on the planet? Was it Bone Crusher Smith? Was he the baddest man on the planet? Horn will get knocked out. He'll be walking into shots he won't see coming. That's how you get yourself knocked out. The shot you don't see coming. Crawford is speed and accuracy. Crawford versus Josh Kelly in a year or two. I don't know. That's if Josh Kelly. That's if Josh Kelly has a good chin and has got good punching power and can stand up to some good shots, because he is wide open, Josh Kelly. If he's got a chin like Froch, he'll go places. I remember the day when Ingram told us about Crawford before anybody knew who he was. Exactly. I told everyone about Crawford. Ingram, remember when I said this? Josh Kelly will get knocked out when he steps up to world level. Don't like judging prospects this early, but I have a terrible feeling. Truth and facts about boxing. Poster was weak. Gaboy was weak. LOL, LOL. Good points, Ingram. Listen, it's all well and good saying this guy was poor, this guy was poor. Undisputed champion. If undisputed champions were that easy, then we'd have an undisputed champion in every division. Okay? Crawford has taken the fights to make the undisputed thing happen, right? He fought the champions, he beat the champions. They were the best that was around at the time. You can't tell me crap and tell me it was a weak division. He beat the guys that were around at the time. Tyson beat the guys that were around at the time, and he became champion. But we can always rip it apart afterwards and say, well, Bone Crusher Smith weren't that great, Tim Witherspoon weren't that great, or Larry Holmes was crap, and guys he fought, I'm talking about his career. Trevor Berg wasn't fantastic, or Spinks was a blown up light heavyweight. We could go on and pick people apart. Oh, well, Muhammad Ali, well, you know what? He never threw a body shot. He didn't throw body shots. He wasn't great on the inside. Too long. You could pick any fight apart and rip them apart. But when a man achieves undisputed as a champion, that is something you respect in terms of the history of the sport. So I can't sit here and say, oh, well, especially when they're guys who no names be mentioned here, who've got WBO titles and have fought really nobody, handpicked opponents, and they're called the greatest of all time. And you've got a guy like Crawford who's got all the belts and beaten all the champions. That's why he's undisputed. Number one, numero uno, beating everybody that matters. That's why he's undisputed. He beat the champions. That's it. That's why he's got all the belts. So you can't dispute that. That's why it's called undisputed. You could say, well, some guys should have moved down in weight. Crawford should move up. Crawford's moving up, isn't he not? So what do you want? Let's see what people are saying. Tyson was more of a hype job when the competition raised, he folded. Even the promoters such as Eddie Hearn says to him, Charlo brothers, Spence, Billy Joe, Wilder, Mikey Garcia are the best in boxing. Charlo brothers, Spence, Billy Joe Saunders, Wilder, Mikey Garcia are the best in boxing. But Crawford isn't. Okay, Charlo brothers, undisputed? I don't think so. Billy Joe Saunders, undisputed? Don't think so. Mikey Garcia, undisputed? I don't think so. How can he be the best in boxing? How can you count guys like Canelo and Golovkin and Crawford? How can you count those guys out? Or are you using the BoxRec pound for pound list to come to your conclusions? Well, who's the best guy Billy Joe Saunders fought? David Lemieux or Chris Eubank Jr.? Really? the best about. But you're saying that Billy Joe Saunders on paper is a better fighter than Crawford, who's beaten Gamboa, Postal. What? Clean out his division, beating everybody around, undisputed champion. But he's the top man in his division. There's no if, buts, or maybes about it. But somehow or the other, Crawford isn't in your list. I don't know what boxing watching, mate. Hearn brought over Crawford and was convinced Burns would beat him inside the distance, but I like a bit like Cov cleverly syndrome. Ingram warned us all when he did it on cleverly. Track media says most don't go for undisputed because they go for the bigger money fights like Floyd did. A lot of his other champions did not have enough big name to generate pay-per-view numbers. Track me in. What did you say? Wilder is the best boxer today. Wilder. Louis Lomachenko in the track media list. Spence is good. No wonder Kell's other eye got damaged so heavy-handed. Lamont took a beating. Another soul-taken man down. He beat nobody. Them niggas are scrubs, bro. He will get exposed at 147. He beat nobody. Right. BoxRec is biased. Eye test, bro. Troll. Some of them, dude, your name's track media weren't even unified champions, but Crawford became undisputed. Charlo will stop Crawford easy. Really? Wilder has power. No matter how skilled you are, you have to respect that type of power. Tyson Fury is the most skilled heavyweight. Okay, nice to know. I'm supposed to say Jeff Horn is the best welterweight in the world. Respect to Spence, of course. Look, you're entitled to your opinion, but I'm sorry, but I don't agree with you. You're entitled to your opinion. Wilder, really? I like to look at guys' resumes and what they've done and what they've achieved in their careers. And you've got to put Golovkin up there, and you've definitely got to put Canelo up there. Yeah. It's okay, time will tell. Charlo is divisions above Crawford. What drugs are you on? Well, I'm glad somebody else said that and not me. That's why I was kind of pausing and going, Charlo, Crawford, really? How far can Loma jump up in weight? He could jump up a fight at middleweight if they handpick the right opponents. Yeah, he could fight up at middleweight. But that stuff's going to stop with Lomachenko, I'm sure. If somebody's going to put hands on Lomachenko soon. That stuff, somebody's going to put hands on him soon, I'm sure. That stuff is okay, but do you know what I mean? You got Lomachenko and you got Pernell Whitaker. You talk about class there. You know what I mean, I saw Pernell Whitaker do some stuff that, Lomachenko couldn't dream to do, and he did it against the very best in the world. Pernell Whitaker, that's what I'm talking about. Keep the show going, Ingram. Martin Murray, best pound for pound, Northeast England thoughts. I think you're trying to get me rattled, right? GGG lost to Jacobs and Canelo beat a bunch of old guys and lost to GGG. Right. Sure. I could say that Billy Joe Saunders struggled with Chris Eubank Jr. He won the first 6, and then the last 6 rounds, Eubank Jr. won. So I could say he drew against Eubank Jr. I could say he struggled against Nick Blackwell. You could pick people like that. Listen, the guy who fought Wolverine, same Billy Joe Saunders, who fought Wolverine 2 fights ago, or 3 fights ago at the Leisure Centre. A lot of people thought that Wolverine beat Billy Joe Saunders. And nobody knew about Wolverine. What are you talking about? Murray versus Saunders v Murray is a terrible fight. Murray got robbery win over Rosada, and gets a 5th world title shot, pissing up the fans' legs with this. It's terrible. It's funny. I'm reading Charlo and Spence calling out Canelo, but wouldn't take the farewell fight with Cotto. Murray is an absolute shot to pieces. So sick of Murray. Murray is from Liverpool, not my home Newcastle in northeast. Liverpool is northwest. Spence would have stopped Cotto in 4 or 5 rounds. Spence would have destroyed. Of course he would have. See, remember, guys who are flat-footed and come forward against somebody like Spence, he's going to pick them off. And he's going to beat them to pulp. That he's good at that. What I want to see Spence do is fight a guy that's on the move, doesn't allow him to set his feet and launch and land body shots, and can hit him back hard as well with sharp, hard counters. Crawford could do that. Thurman can do that. So how does Crawford deal? Not Crawford. How does Spence deal with a guy? Spence Jr. deal with a guy who's giving him lateral movement that doesn't allow him to plant his feet and land his big shots. That is hitting him with shots and then out of the way. How does he deal with a guy like that? Does he get frustrated? These are different things to test a fighter. Not always, you have to go on the guy head on. Sometimes a guy can lose his mind just because he can't land big shots on you. Taking away his power shots, taking away that left hand. What happens if you take the left hand away from him and he's only got a right hand to work with? You don't give him a chance to land that big left hand on you. You don't allow him to land body shots on you. You don't fight your back against the ropes. You put his back against the ropes and make him have to fight off the back, off the ropes. How does Spence fight then? These are different questions. It's all right being a flat track bully and going front four and not moving much head move and moving straight forward against the guy. That's fine. But now you have to move against a guy who's moving constantly and throwing shots at you at weird angles. That's a different fight altogether. So we'll see how Spence does with that. Cotto and Pacquiao both done. Spence should have took the Cotto fight and made a name on his resume. He could have done that. Spence versus Thurman, who wins? Good question. Josh Taylor will have box Murray. Spence KO. Thurman gives Spence a boxing lesson. Well, we'll have to see about that. It'll be an interesting fight. Josh Taylor will have box and pulverize Murray, and Josh Taylor's 20 pounds lighter. LOL. I don't rate Billy Joe Saunders versus Murray at all. Exactly Murray versus Paul Smith for all the marbles. Spence would whoop Keith Thurman in 8 rounds. Well, a lot of people are talking about Spence like he's some monster. But for me, until he beats a guy that's moving, he's got movement and can hit hard, I'll say Spence is a good fighter against a certain type of style. Let's say how he does when a guy can put him on his back and who can hurt him, a guy that who can hurt him, a guy that's got speed and movement. Thurman's an elite fighter. Let's see how he does with that. Track music says Cotto did, Chavez scrub, Mosey old, Lara, I think Lara won, Khan great hands. Let's see what's going here. I'm going through this a second. Cotto old, Chavez scrub, Mosey old, Lara. Most people think Lara won. Khan great hands, no offense. Liam Smith scrub. Canelo and GG but was robbed against Canelo. Canelo is average. Right, you could go through Mike Tyson's resume and do the same thing if you really wanted to. Who's the best guy Tyson beat? And how many times Tyson get off the deck to win a fight? Never. Could say the same thing about Lennox Lewis. As soon as someone put it on Lennox, he went to canvas, he never got up and won. I could take that approach. There are many guys you could pick apart, but if you did that about every fighter, then there would be no fighters fighting that you'd recognize. So who's Billy Joe Saunders' best win in the grand scheme of things? Who's Charlo's best win in the grand scheme of things? Does that make them all-time greats? Mikey Garcia's win, does it make him an all-time great? Yes, he's won all these belts, but Who cares about the guys that Mikey Garcia's beat? I'm not disrespecting Mikey Garcia. I think Mikey Garcia is a very good fighter. But in the grand scheme of things, you go back and think, well, who did Mikey Garcia beat that you could think, yeah, that was a great fight? So come on, man. Spence works well behind the jab too. I like it when he's patient and fires off the left hand downstairs. Remember, guys with movement won't be moving for 12 rounds if Spence works the body like he does. Yes, that's if he's allowed to work the body. But when you find the guys who give you lateral movement and are hitting you back as well, it can make you uncomfortable working to the body, especially with somebody who can hit you early. And every time you go to the body, they're tagging you. You may think twice before going to the body. Canelo's overrated. Floyd made him look like he was average. Floyd is an exceptional fighter. How many people have beaten Floyd? How many people have looked good against Floyd? How many guys have beaten Floyd on paper? And care what you think. Who's beaten him on paper? So I think this is where the unreasonableness comes in. You're now talking about Canelo and Floyd is an all-time great. Regardless if you say what you want, he's going to go down as all-time great, whether you want to accept it or not. Saunders beat Eubank. Spence is the next level. The new TBE apparently shook Floyd in sparring. Hey Ingram, yes, my man Malky Pablo. Shout out to my man Malky Pablo, the #1 fighter on the PS3, on the Fight Night champion, the #1, numero uno, unbeaten. There's the man Pablo, Malky Pablo in the room. Sporting Icon's trying to be the new Bwtm with the late night streams, but it won't work. Shout out to Sporting Icon. He's doing his thing, and shout out to him. Those guys still have a point to prove. But from a skill standpoint, Charlo, Mikey, Billy Joe Saunders, Spence are A-level guys. Anyone with eyes can see that. But Crawford's not A-level. Lomachenko's not A-level. Canelo's not A-level. Okay. Canelo versus Floyd wasn't even close. Maidana gave Floyd a great fight. And what happened in the second fight? Spence does not want to fight. Does want to fight Thurman though, so you got to give him that. Oh yeah, he wants to fight everyone. He wants to fight, and he wants to become an undisputed champion. And when you've got that sort of mentality, much like Crawford, these guys are throwback fighters. They're not interested. They're interested in belts and becoming champion. So it's a different mentality. I don't see that in Thurman. I don't see that in Thurman. I see Thurman as a guy that's got comfortable. I see Thurman as a guy that's got to the top. I don't know how much longer he's going to stay at the top. Bellew is a massive hypocrite, as is Eddie and Barry Hearn. They need to make a formal apology, but they won't. They want to be good guys, spineless. Malky Pablo versus O'Hara. Who we got? Malky Pablo. Canelo is not A-level. Canelo's not A-level. Well, according to the pay-per-view numbers, he's A-level. He's a star fighter. According to the public, he's a star fighter. I think he's a star fighter. I mean, of course, he's a star fighter. Depends how high you rank Amir Khan. Depends how high you rate James Kirkland. Depends how high you rate Chavez. I mean, I like a guy that can be adaptable, who can change on the fly. We saw with Canelo, he changed his style up when he fought Golovkin because he knew he couldn't stand in front of Golovkin. I think Canelo is a very talented fighter. Very talented fighter. Did you agree with O'Hara in his interview talking about the whole drama? Now listen, I'll tell you this much, and if you remember the video I did a while back regarding Tyson Fury, Tyson said, promoters make you say things and do things, and then you get in trouble for it. Remember when I said that about Tyson Fury? He said that to me. Go back and listen to this interview. I said, and Tyson Fury was talking about his promoter making him say and do some clownish type of things, and then him getting fined for afterwards and him having to cop the bill for it. Now, I think for me, O'Hara Davies, when something's wrong, it's just wrong. I don't care who's pushing you to do it. You just don't do it. So Hara Davis, as far as I'm concerned, if your management team are telling you to do things that you don't want to do, and then you turn around saying that you're paying them, then my friend, you need to sack them and find a better management team, my friend. And now you're going to another team. You haven't learned your lesson. So now you're going, MTK Global's going to do this and MTK Global's going to do that for me. And if, you know what he should have done? If O'Hara just piped down a bit, he should have talked to Floyd and asked Floyd for some advice into how to run his career. If Floyd is supposedly your idol, then what you should do is talk to Floyd and ask Floyd, and had been respectful when he saw Floyd and said, look, Floyd, you know, how do I manage my career? What's the best thing to do to manage my career? That's what I would have done. But each their own. Oh, you know, then he tells you some story about, you know, well, you know, I'm just a fighter and I just need to do this and that. Well, listen, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. So for me, you need to take more control of your career. It's your hands that sent the tweet out. You could have said, nah, this ain't right. This ain't right. And so he's with MTK Global. Now he's saying MTK Global is going to do this and that. MTK Global may do that, but you still have to be accountable for what you do. So, Spence beats everybody according to his fans. I know. I'm not getting on a hype train like that. I've made a U-turn with O'Hara. I hope he succeeds, but my God, I hope he doesn't go with Danny Vaughan from MTK. Terrible trainer. Derek James is the best trainer in boxing. I know about the best trainer in boxing, but he was the trainer of the year, and I call that since I think it was November. I called him trainer of the year. Track Media says, don't talk star or sells. I'm talking skill. Okay. But Lomachenko didn't get in there for skill level. Crawford didn't get there for skill level. So I'm not sure what sort of skills you're looking at. O'Hara was out of control, in my opinion. Love the guy, but needs to chill on the shit talking. Takes it too far. But it's done his bank account. Okay, it's an accumulation of stuff, not just one incident. Well, it is what it is. But with him, but like I said the other day, boxing, you're no longer just got a guy with fists. You've got a brand, and all them people I was talking about today, I was talking crap about brands. Don't understand the business of boxing. And shit sticks. And you have to see how much that shit sticks with O'Hara Davis moving forward. Canelo look better in the GG fight, though poor cardio though. Do you think Spence could beat Alvarez? No, I don't, because Alvarez is a different situation altogether. I think Alvarez has movement. He's the kind of guy who's got movers. He can punch. He's an intelligent fighter. He's not going to walk forward in straight lines against Spence. So no, I don't think so. Not yet. Alvarez would kill Spence. I wouldn't go out and kill him, but I wouldn't want to see that fight. And he did lose that fight, but we know boxing is dirty, just like Jacobs beat GG, but they wouldn't give it to him because they would have messed up the GG Canelo fight. I thought Jacobs beat him, but there you go. MTK Global trash. Thurman's coming for Spence. Well, let's hope so. I'd like Lamont and Crawford, but Canelo isn't that class. Okay. Canelo beats Spence if he does happen. I'd like to see Davis versus Ben. Okay, interesting fight. White should leave after Brown KOs him. Okay, Spence beats Canelo easy. He'll retire towards the 7th. Yeah, but you know what? He may tie towards the 7th. But are you suggesting that Spence hits as hard as Golovkin? That's a big, big, big statement there. Spence beats Canelo easy. He will. I don't know about that bit. I ain't going as far as that. I'm not sure about that. It took him 9 rounds to beat up Peterson, right? Think this out. It took him 9 rounds to knock Peterson, beat Peterson. He got pulled out of the corner. He got pulled out of the fight, whereas Lucas Matisse rendered him unconscious. Yeah, okay. So just put that in your memory banks when you talk about Spence moving up and beating Canelo and knocking him out and doing all this stuff. Add that to your memory banks as well. Mr. Cutsy says, hi Ingram, just got in. Congratulations on the video last week. boys been putting in mad work. Back in the UK, I'm absolutely pissed that we didn't have enough batteries on the road. It was a long day. We were on the road from like 4:20, so we'd start filming from 9 o'clock. We didn't finish filming till by 9 in the evening. So I'm pissed about the sound and I'm pissed about the batteries. So there are things that can be corrected, which we need to work on. Better equipment we need, but we're getting there. Once we get the equipment right, we'll be able to bring out some really great interviews. But we're working on something as we talk, as we speak, something that's going to shock a few people, something that's going to surprise a few people. And Bwtm are going to be in the house doing something a bit special. Around this time next week, I'll be able to break some news to you. Ingram, do you see a new approach from Eddie this year? He's putting on Dave Allen in the press conference saying it's his last chance. He was trying to rattle Higgins in the press conference. Well, how many chances does Dave Allen want? That's what you ask yourself. Hope you enjoyed it. I did. It's nice to be back in the UK. And might just have to go down the road and go and see the Eubanks. I'm going to try this week and see them, see what happens. Hand rattled Dillian White in his press as well. But I thought what he said to Dave Allen should have been said in public. You could tell Dave was nervous, then asked for a Sky job. Ingram, my kids are listening. Please stop swearing. Okay. All right. Sure, Dale boy. Apologies. Your kids are watching at midnight. Shouldn't they be in bed sleeping, my friend? Do you think AJ leaves Eddie Hearn, or will Joshua be loyal to Eddie in Matchroom? I said this before. You notice how there's a lot of posting of AJ boxing on his t-shirt now. Everywhere he goes is AJ boxing. So he's getting the brand out there. He still needs a promoter for sure, but if he can promote, why does he need Eddie Hearn? Any clue on a Carson Jones interview? I'm going to be giving you more than a Carson Jones interview. Gigi didn't work the body when Canelo tired and leaned on the ropes, but Spence will work towards the 10th. Canelo will break. Okay. Del Boy Donkeys, I'm a good parent. LOL. We're having your kids up at midnight. Okay. I know Dave is a tough lad, but too much pressure on him. Fair enough. He needs to know it's his last chance, but I don't know, man. If he loses, it can break him. Well, we make decisions in this world, and it's what it is. He's a professional boxer. That's what I meant. He shouldn't have been done in public. Well, I think, to me, Eddie's one of them. I hope not. Eddie's one of these guys that, once Joshua leaves him, he'll cut loose and disappear. I hope that's not the case. He's putting Ted Cheeseman in with Carson Jones. Sink or swim. Remember, Eddie did say this was the year a lot of these guys have to sink or swim. So we'll see. Spence spars cruiserweights and heavyweights, and they all said he hits like fighters in their division. Yeah, that's true. That's nice. Remember when people said Nazim hit like a heavyweight as well? He was knocking heavyweights out as well. Sparring's not the real thing. And I don't think those heavyweights I really don't think those heavyweights are landing heavyweight shots on Spence. I'm not having it. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I'm not having it. I'm not believing the fact that Spence is, he might be sparring with heavyweights, he might be doing body work with him, but I don't believe what are you sparring with heavyweights for? What are you sparring with heavyweights and cruiserweights for? You're not going to fight cruiserweight or heavyweight, are you? So yeah, I'm sure it's pretty good body work, but sorry. I hear some stuff sometimes and I think, okay, that's nice to know. But sparring with a heavyweight, how's that going to help you fight Thurman? Sparring with a cruiserweight, how's that going to help you fight Crawford? Exactly. If you spar with a middleweight, yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. But our tops are like heavyweight. And that's at the very top. So what the hell are you sparring a cruiserweight and a heavyweight for? If you're a middleweight, the spar of a cruiserweight and a heavyweight, maybe I can understand that. That's a Porsche super middleweight, I'd say. You know what I mean? GGG hits harder than Gassiev. That's crazy. LOL. Might be just his technique. Might have a better technique than Gassiev. I can assure you, those heavyweights are not going hell for leather with Spence, and if they are, they're not very good. Do you believe Joshua, when he tried to clear up the knockdown rumors and now claims it's only 3 times, but previously admitted to Coley Dubois, but now saying Price? I told you the Price story was true, and the Tyson Fury conversation on the telephone is true as well. Eddie isn't using Dave because he likes him. He isn't doing it because he sells tickets. Eddie says they check social media numbers. It's not because he likes him. Okay, and coming. Yeah, I think he controls a lot of people's social media accounts, so I understand. And coming out of a police cell the night before. Really? Even Barry Hunt has said he watched Spence destroy a heavyweight in the UK. He spars them because the smaller guys can't last through camp. The smaller guys are probably not very good. If you're a heavyweight and you're going hell for leather with Spence and you can't knock him out, there's something wrong. No way they are hitting Spence full on. Yeah, it's my point. I said that. They'll be touching him around the ring. Exactly. Spence also spars with Joanne Charlo. The smaller guys can't make it. He rotates sparring partners. Now, I believe the Charlo thing, I believe I heard Derek James tell me a number of occasions about that. My little one wants to know if you think Joshua versus Klitschko was fixed. Your little one, how old's your little one? Do I think it was fixed? If you're a conspiracy theorist that believes that it was the passing of the torch, then yeah, it was fixed. If you're one that thinks that Klitschko made a vast miscalculation and didn't go for the knockout because Vitali told him to hold back, you could be right. And if you believe that Klitschko just passed it and is gun shy, then you could be right as well. Are you going to visit Eubanks? That's awesome. I can't wait for the videos. Well, they're about half an hour, 45 minutes away from me, so why not? Why is Joshua suddenly backtracking on those knockout rumors? Might be mentally weak, according to Dave Higgins. Do you believe it's only Price? No. Spence made Floyd quit during sparring. Yeah, it depends what sort of shape Floyd was in. Floyd may have been the first time in camp for, like 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 10 weeks. He might have just been coming to camp and Spence was just preparing to fight. Come on. Joshua's full of shit. He got dropped, simple as that. I'm tired of these Joshua sparring rumors. It's old and only being brought up by haters to try and put him in. The Spence stuff just defies logic. Yeah, of course it was. Vlad's last fight contracts with the man. Floyd knew what time it was with Spence from time ago. Possibly. But there's no lateral movement with Spence. He does come in straight lines. It doesn't move his head that much. Can be caught coming in. I don't know how great Spence's defense is. But he's exceptional. He's very good. Gets himself into nice positions. Lands beautiful body shots. That left hand is wicked. Spence is a middleweight. Spence knocked himself out in sparring. Now that's power. I heard a story about Spence being a lot bigger than he actually is and just boils himself down. Ingram is putting on his mellow nighttime radio voice on. Love it. Now I have to do that now because I've got neighbors above me. So I can't be speaking with that all loud voice now like I used to. Got to be careful. Yeah. I need to get into that radio stuff as well. I'm looking forward to doing that. So yeah. There's so much work to do here at Bwtm Sports. So gotta start looking to recruit more people for the job, so I can get on to do the things I enjoy doing. Right. So, is there anything else that I may have missed out on? Crawford Horn, Pacquiao Lomachenko, Murray Saunders, no. Carson Jones Cheeseman, I thought follow up about that one. Spence said he's naturally a middleweight. He has 2 sets of clothes for camp and after. Yeah, I know. I did hear that story. He's naturally a middleweight. But if he's a natural middleweight, what's Canelo then? What areas are you recruiting? Well, first and foremost, definitely going to do what I'd like to see now for moving forward is to have 2 guys and a girl running the Bwtm show. That's what I'd like to see them doing. So I want 3 people there. I want 3 people doing our news section, news, community, and music, news, community, culture. I want to do that. And then I want a few people doing the games channel. So there's about 9 people I think I'll need to do that. So all work to be done. But I believe they'll come this year. I don't just want people who want to come to get paid. I'm not interested in that. I want people who are prepared to put the hard work in, as I am, and prepared to have the heart for what we do. So, you know what I mean? They want to work hard, they want to put the work in, and prepare to do those things. Do you think Tyson would have been banned if he didn't expose the bankers and control media? Yes, I still think he would have got banned. I still think so because he mentioned something about homosexuals. To upset people within the homosexual community. So that is another thing, you know. So that was a problem there, and of course, being a traveller, that is a problem from some people in this day and age. So that's a problem as well. But you know, he said some things, and I've always said that Tyson needed a PR behind him, and he didn't, and we are where we are today. And I don't know when he's fighting next. You know, how many years has Tyson not fought now? As the clock keeps ticking, it's no longer 2 years, is it? I believe he would have been stripped for IBF off the IBF. Yeah. Me and Spence are about the same size build, and I can lose weight and gain weight easily. I know he can because Ingram is a legend. Thank you. Sounds good. Good luck with the expansion, bro. Well, this is Bwtm is only a small fraction of what we do. Small fraction. Yeah, but we have our studio, which is good. So we're just building the studio as we speak. So we'll be inviting people to come to the studio, and yeah, the plan is eventually to have a situation where people come to the studio to do interviews. Rather, you can control things more that way. So we're going to be continuing to build the studio. I have a room to build a studio, and where we're at, it's a beautiful location. So I think it would be good to have our studio. But he won't go. He won't over the boundary. But he is Hearn and his corny bunch already had deals in place in case Fury won, which he did. True. Ingram, you are better than Coogan. Well, I don't compare because comparison brings devil. So I don't compare. I just do our thing. What happened to Hughie Fury as well? No sign of a fight coming up. I believe I think Hughie Fury's got something signed up next week, and we will definitely be going to visit the Furies now, because the BWTM mobile is on the move again. Probably, so we'll be back on the road probably next week. Predict text. Sorry about bad spelling. LOL. Pay-per-view on YouTube is what's happened. LOL. Okay. Ingram, your thoughts on Channel 5 giving David Haye a TV deal? David Haye is somebody I'd like to work with, actually. I would actually like to work with David Haye. I know a lot of people think that's quite cheesy and everything, but I'd like to work with Haymaker Promotions. And I like to work with him. I really would. Hughie Fury gonna need a year to recover from his feeling being hurt. Lucas Brown thinks very highly of Hughie Fury, although he said that didn't think much of his performance. He said she gave him a pair of running boots. Do you have a football club that you support? Well, you know what I do want to do with Bwtm Sports, by the way. I want to do some. I want to really do some really cover local sports as well. Local basketball, local football, and see how that not how that works out. Because I'd like to do that, and I'm definitely going to get myself back into the community doing sports myself. And yeah, there is something I'm eyeing up at the moment that I'm really interested in doing. I'll keep you guys posted on that. I'm going to do some more posting on my personal channel, my personal page, Ingram Jones. So check that out, the YouTube channel. I'll be doing a lot more posting over there. Now that I'm back in the UK, lots of travel videos and all sorts of stuff. So I'll be doing a blog probably over there. So the stuff that you see here, you could probably get some background information as to what's going on the other channel. So you would do that as well. Ryan, you clearly didn't watch early, LOL. Shout out to Ryan Monroe. The true BWTM fans know Ingram is an Arsenal fan. Yeah, I am an Arsenal fan. I'm not proud of it. It's quite embarrassing sometimes when you're talking to people who are fans of other clubs. The YouTube pay-per-view was simply to get more money. Peter laid out. It is obvious Mick Hennessy was front. Mick ain't got 2 million quid spare. Also funded it in Mick's name. You probably know who. No basketball, please. Us Englishmen don't like that game. Okay. I didn't know. I just came across his channel 5 minutes ago. Come on, you Gunners. Oh, you came across my channel 5 minutes ago. Oh, nice. How did you come across the channel? I appreciate that. Well, if you haven't already and you're watching here, please subscribe to this channel. We appreciate it. And one final thing before I finish. YouTube are going about now this monetization thing. So basically, people's channels that are basically dead, they're shutting the monetization off. So you've got to hit like 4,000 views in the last 30 days. So, yeah, my gaming channel, I need to work on that. And my Ingram Jones channel, I need to work on that. Others, meaning the MTK group. So I look forward to sitting down and talking to Peter and getting a chance to talk to Tyson and getting around the country doing some things. But I think I'll definitely get to talk to Ronnie Davis. That's one of my musts. MTK are dodgy, a lot of dodgy people running that company. Well, I think I've had my fair share of running into dodgy people in 2017. And some of those people I'm glad to see the back off. I'll leave it as that. A lot of work needs doing on the gaming channel so you don't lose it. I know it's a lot to do. My dad predicted a year ago, 2 years ago, he predicted to get to a position where it's just too much to do. So you're going out doing the video, you're doing you're editing, you're uploading videos, you're running 2 or 3 different channels. It's too much to do for one person. All these other bigger channels, you notice that they've got 2, 3, 4, 5 people. So one person just does the filming and then it gets uploaded. So I'm doing a live show, I'm doing the videos, I'm doing the uploads. Other people have got 2, 3 people working inside them. I'm doing one thing for everything, and it's too much now. And what altogether we're at 4 million views. If you look across the whole of the network, not just BWTN Sports, it's about 4 million views there. So you think about it, if you had 2 or 3 more people working like myself, a bit more expertise in the areas, but I really want to see a female on side and another bloke, definitely. Um, yeah, YouTube shafting many channels. A lot of work. Okay, let me help. Okay, DJ, sounds good. Ingram, you bloody well know MTK are multi millionaires, people, family. You live in Ireland, don't you? No more, I don't. No, I don't live in Ireland anymore. I'm back in the UK and I'm happy to be home, as they say. Very happy to be home and happy to be home in an absolutely fantastic space. Really happy to be home. I wish I'd come home sooner, but we're here now. So, thoughts of running a second channel is scary. Don't have the time. I run a second channel. This is a secondary channel. The other channel's got 7,500 subscribers with I think 2.1 or 2.2 million views. At first I thought you was from the US. You got that New York accent going on. I think that's my wife there. My wife's American, or she's from America. She doesn't like to say she's American. She's from America. That's probably what you're hearing in between now, the twanginess. Ingram, hope the wife is treating you right. Yeah, the wife's treating me good, man. I'm happy. I'm good. I can't complain. 7 years married, I can't complain. Was any dodgy people you met from MTK? No. Last year, 2017, there was a few dodgy people I met in 2017. I'm glad to see the back of them. I don't know. I don't want to talk about MTK Global. But yeah, Bwtm Sports is part of a bigger organization, which is a US company. So it's all US. So Ingram misses Muswell Hill. Not anymore. I'm back by the coast, and nothing compares to being by the coast. Getting up in the morning and literally walking, and you literally walk 2 steps and you're by the sea. You can't beat that, man. Good fresh air. Punching above your weight, Ingram. Not anymore. 7 years in, I don't know if I'm punching above my weight. I think I'm punching at my weight now, 7 years on. Boxing, no, it's not a boxing channel, but it has got loads of old boxing videos there. Interviews with Keith Thurman, interviews with Terence Crawford, before people were talking to Thurman, before people were talking to Terence Crawford. Yeah, back in the day, they had some classic interviews with there. Don Charles and myself going back at it. Yeah. What's his name? Steve Goodwin, loads of Ava Knight, Anna Houliton. Oh man, some great stuff on there. In your unbiased opinion, who has the better boxers among UK or US? It's hard to compare because the UK is very small, US is very big. The UK boxing is in the top 3 of the priorities in boxing, so it gets more exposure. America, vast. In one state, you can probably fit England in the UK over 10 times over. So you have to take into consideration that the US market, boxing is not in the top 3 things that's important to them. When you look at American football, American basketball, and let's say hockey, there's a 3 sports there. It was the NFL, NBA, and baseball, the Super. Yeah. So those sports already are much more important than boxing. Okay. Then you got the horse races as well. They see as more important. So the Americans have got uh, interest in other things. Boxing's down the list. So my point is, I think I would say the US has still got better fighters, because when you talk about the US, are you talking about just fighters that fight in the US or fighters that are American? Like Mikey Garcia, he's in the USA, but he's Mexican. You know. So what do you mean by that? So I'd say the USA. Um, uh, um, Let's see. Walk into Eubanks Gym in Brighton if that's the case, bro. I'm going to. USA, nah, just kidding. We have even boxes. US with Eastern European fighters, of course, for sure. Are you based in Brighton? I'm based just outside of Brighton. Bwtm wouldn't ever sell out, not even with the win of 33 in the Creek game tonight. No, my friend, I won't sell out. LOL, American basketball. I call it American basketball because that's where, outside of America, or I mean, NBA football, NBA basketball is what people talk about, isn't it? People interested in the NBA, of all the star players that are there. Mikey is Mexican American, I believe he is, but Mexican American. Remember, Mexican American. So, no, Mike Garcia is a Mexican American. He was born right in the USA. So, okay. So, really nice place. My brother went to school in Brighton. Love it there. When did you move, Ingram? I was here in January the 9th. I moved January 9th. We made the move, but we moved. The move was on January the 9th, so we got the place on January the 9th. Yeah, so it's just still moving back and forth. Of course, realistic boxing. England's got the 3 a.m. ritual on clock. Isn't that right, Mark? Big things planned for Ingram. Exciting for the journey. I am excited. I think there's one or two things I want to fast track in 2018 because that thing about being a boxing trainer, it's an itch there. There's an itch there. So I think I'm definitely going to go into doing some sports consultancy for sure. That's another thing I want to do. And then it gives me enough time to then work with the boxing here or the boxing, the Bwtm channel. So there's lots of things. Good stream, mate. Got to get up, get some kips, so catch up. All the best. Yeah, Sporting Icons. Nice to see you. I will bring you on the channel. I swear I will do it. Just give me some time. We are working on something for next week. This time next week, we will break some news. Bwtm promotions up and running, I hope. Yeah, that's something like on the lines of what we're going to be doing. Got a few things. Also, good work on the Parker camp interviews. I'm gutted because I think if we got the sound a little better on the camp interviews, I think you would have enjoyed it more. I'm gutted about the Parker interview because that should have really, the stuff Parker was saying in that interview, you saw a different light of Parker. So, but we'll get them again when they're in the country. And of course, he's following us now on Twitter as well, so that helps. And I like Kevin Barry. Got a lot of time for Kevin Barry. Scary man, Kevin Barry, but yeah, I like him. I like the whole camp of Parker camp. A lot of it's tongue in cheek. They wanted that fight, so they did what they had to do to get the fight. Business, isn't it? That's all it is. I'm sure if the shoe was on the other foot and Parker was the unified champion and Joshua was the WBO champion, they would have done similar things as well. So, Right. Don't forget to look at those other videos of those upcoming fighters from the IQ Boxing Academy. Check out the IQ Boxing Academy video as well. I feel Spence beats any welterweight apart from Crawford. That's interesting. You say that. Interesting. Yes, Babatunde, like to see you in the room, champ. So, right, I'm going to get out of here now. It's 1:45 in the morning, and we've got a long day tomorrow. You said the interviews with Parker and his trainer and promoter didn't come out well, but I didn't receive any sound problems. It was good. Okay, so you heard it. Great. That's interesting. People are saying the sound wasn't very good. So, I don't know. Some people saying the sound ain't good. Some people saying the sound was good. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if people are saying Crawford is unproven as a welterweight. That's let's put it this way: Danny Garcia and Crawford fought in the amateurs, and Danny Garcia beat Crawford in the. I think it's Danny Garcia. Was it Mike Garcia? No, I think it's Danny Garcia. He beat him, but he didn't get the decision a few times. That's what you tell me. Mikey, this is not. This is the most ambitious I've seen, Ingram. Great to see. When he's on A game, he's unstoppable. Bwtm promotion, like Six said. Yeah, well, we're back in the UK. Yeah, well, imagine Ingram ringside if Parker beats Joshua. Oh dear. Bwtm take it. The sound when you get people calling in on Skype or what's not sounds real quiet sometimes, which is a shame. Okay. Amateur boxers, Ingram. Yep. You could do that. But my plan is to do a week in the life of. That's what I'm going to try and do. That's what we will be doing. So stay tuned. I've got the details. Homophobia is a manufactured term which used to label people as being hateful of them when this isn't true. You never hear the term heterophobia, which is used to use opposite effect and label homosexuals as hateful. Do you get me? Yeah, I get you, Luke. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. What happened to Russ? I've been friends with EJ Boxing Live for absolute years. Absolute years. I talk about it, but yeah, we've been friends for years. If you go back, when they did the Tyson Fury interview that got 349,000 views, EJ was right next to me. So when I go out and do these things, I pull EJ with me. So EJ's my bro, man. I like EJ. Will Fury fight Briggs in his comeback for Ingram? I don't know. Is Fury even going to fight again? I don't even know. Now, all the stories about Eubank Senior, what makes you think they will let you in the gym? Because I used to box in Sussex. I'm not a stranger to the area. Ronnie Davis. I would go in there to see Ronnie Davis and talk to Ronnie. Not interested really in what Eubank has to say. Yeah, I'm going to go and see Ronnie. I'm going to talk to Ronnie. I've got a personal relationship with Ronnie. So Ronnie used to be very good friends with my trainer. So I'm going to go and see how Ronnie's doing. So I like EJ and Beats. Yeah, good people. Do you think Brook beats Khan? No. Yes. I thought you were going to ask the question, do I think Khan beats Brook? What happened to Russ? I don't know what happened. You tell me. I don't know what happened to him. You going back to Wales would be good. Oh, I want to do that. I do want to do that. But all these things I want to do, but most importantly, we've got to get a team together. Really got to. I can't keep doing these. I can't do these one. I can't do the one man thing anymore. I know we've got a team behind us, behind the Bwtm, but we need a team. So a lot of things to be done. I've got a lot more planning to do, and then I've got to start going out, reaching out, and getting people to join the club. So we had a nice team of people in the Caribbean. Actually, we did audition. We did. I think we had 300, 400 people just turn up for the auditions, and that was for auditions. We had 400 people in auditions, and I had 15 people out of that. So they became part of our casting and production team. So it was good. What do you make of Canelo GGG rematch? Who'll win? I'm going with Canelo. I think they're going to string that fight as long as possible so GGG gets older, and it just gives Canelo more of a chance of winning. And I also think that David Haye is going to try and eke it out for as long as possible against Bellew in the hope that Bellew gets rusty and David Haye can catch him. That's what I think the plan is there. Might backfire because he ain't getting younger himself. Right, I think I'm done. How do you think Saunders matches up to them? Don't know. Because as of yet, Saunders hasn't really fought anybody that can really put it on him. Jacobs, elite. He's top gear, top class. Jacobs, Canelo, GGG. Canelo and GGG have the same kryptonite. They don't like guys that move. I actually like the way Canelo puts his punches together better than Gennady Golovkin. When is the next show? Good question. I don't know. But I think I'm going to spend a little more time on the gaming channel for obvious reasons. What do you think of the the undercard fights on the Brook card. I haven't seen the undercard fights on the Brook card. You're fight, McDonald. That's a good fight. That's a very good fight. That's a good fight. I like that. Definitely look at that fight. I'm going to catch up on old videos. Which old videos you look at, brother? McDonald at points your fight. McDonald hasn't fought in a while, though. He got beat by that guy the other day. I thought he got beat by that guy the other day. So, right, I'm definitely getting out of here. Again, as always, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave your comments. I appreciate you all, as always. And join the Facebook page, man. I keep asking you guys to join the Facebook page. Join the Facebook group. I can't keep stressing to you enough. Join the Facebook group, right? And you can find out what the latest is going on in Bwtm. Join our Facebook group. Let me give you the link to our Facebook group. Sometimes it doesn't come up here. The Facebook group is Bwtm Sports channel. This is on Facebook. You can just Google that. And then if you go to Bwtm Sports, go to Bwtm Sports Group. And I think our latest person in the room is Dave Higgins, the promoter of Joseph Parker. So we've got some good people in the room there. Okay, so let me get this camera right. Oh, right. I'm getting out of here. Have a great evening. Take care.